Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about more beauty advent calendars. This time it's going to be what I consider the worst advent calendars of the year, and look, I'm just going to throw this out there. This is not an exhaustive list. If I wrote down the information about every advent calendar that I thought was crappy that I'd seen this year, we would be here for a week. I know some of you would enjoy that, but also, good God, could you imagine the sheer amount of work it would be to create that? No, thank you. Now, a little bit of housekeeping. I am going to talk about how I feel like some of these could be better. I don't think they can all be fixed, but I definitely think some of them could be tweaked to make them a little bit better. And also, there is one that made it onto my list. And after I had finalized my list, I actually received it. It was given to me by Madeline. But I'm still going to talk about it because I think it could still be done better. But also, there are calendars on here that I can appreciate them for what they are. We'll go through it. We'll talk a little bit more in depth about it. But I feel like I always need to say stuff like that because people get in the comments and they're like, oh, you said it's crap, but you have it. Calm down. It's just a discussion. I'm going to start with Dior because Dior is doing a thing this year. They have 3 advent calendars this year. I'm going to start with their mid-range one. This one retails for $750 US, 999 Australian dollars. So it doesn't convert directly from US dollars, thank God. But this one contains 24 mini or travel size items, and it breaks down to $31.25 US per item. Now, it contains a lot of fragrance. There's some skincare, lipsticks, there's nail polishes in there. The nail polishes are 7 mil. They're usually, like if you're buying them full size from Dior, they're 10 mil. So they're still kind of a decent size. And there's also some candles. The 24th item is a Christmas ornament. And I just don't... Okay, for starters, when you're spending $750 on an advent calendar that is supposed to contain beauty products from a prestigious brand, I would say skip on the Christmas decor items. It's not... I don't think anyone wants an ornament for their tree. I mean, maybe some people do. I sure as hell wouldn't. But what's more important here is I think there should be at least a couple of full-size items. Even if it's like a lipstick, you know, the lipsticks, let's face it, they probably cost them absolutely nothing to make, but there's still no full-size lipsticks in here. There's no full-size mascara. Like, Dior definitely have products in their inventory or in their range that are probably fairly cheap to make and could go into an advent calendar like this without really breaking their budget. And I think it's a cop-out that they haven't done that. I don't think this is worth it. I would never spend the money on this. And that's coming from someone who, like, there's a lot of really expensive, ridiculous advent calendars that if I had the disposable income, I could see myself seriously considering it. But this one, no ma'am. I wouldn't, no, absolutely not. The next Dior advent calendar is a mini calendar. It's $160 US or 220 Australian dollars. Now, you might think that that sounds a lot more reasonable, but this advent calendar contains 4 items. So there's 2 fragrances in there. There's some skincare and a lipstick. The lipstick is shade 999, which is a red. You've got Miss Dior and J'adore, and then there's the Prestige Rose Serum. And I really cannot, like, I can't get behind this for any reason whatsoever. The perfumes are 5 mil each. That's ridiculous. These are like tiny little handbag perfumes. The serum is 10 mils and the lipstick is 1.5 grams. Like, just no. And 4 items, that's not an advent calendar. That's a mini gift box. Stop it. This is, I do not accept this. I rebuke this stuff. Like, don't come around here into the advent calendar space, Dior, and do us dirty like that, because that's just rude. The last calendar I want to talk about from Dior is called the Trunk of Dreams. Now, they did do this advent calendar last year as well. I believe it retailed for $3,500 or something like that. This year it is $4,200, so $4,200 US. This contains 28 items, which might sound like a good deal, but it works out to $150 per item. So I'm gonna go through what's in there and I'll let you guys be the judge, but I think this is a bit ridiculous. You've got 5 40ml perfumes from the Privé Christian Dior collection. You've got 1 250-gram candle, which is, you know, a decent size. You've got 4 85-gram candles, so they're going to be the little ones like this. Then you've got 4 40ml hair perfumes. There are 7 accessories in there. They call them the La Collection Privé. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I don't really care. Christian Dior accessories. So there's a lithophane, a mini candle, a travel spray and fragrance refill. Then there's a lid, base and candle snuffer. So you basically make like a little, you know, candle holder that is pretty. It's really pretty, but if you average out the pricing, it's $150 a piece, US. Then you get 4 lipsticks, you get 2 nail polishes, and you get 2 skincare items. You get the Prestige Rose Advanced Serum in a 30ml, which I think that would be considered one of the full size that they sell, or maybe it is completely just like the biggest full size. And then you get a 20ml of the eye serum in that range. I cannot do the maths to make this make sense to me. I don't know if I've just become like a tight ass crotchety old lady in the last 12 months, but I can't get behind this at all. And I will say, last year I saw the really expensive Dior, like this version, last year's version, being opened on TikTok and stuff like that. And even then I was like, this calendar's a joke. Like, and people were upset with the contents, and rightly so. But also I thought, did you not even take a little looky-loo at the list and like do the maths in your head? Because that's ridiculous. I can't get behind that. At the end of the day, what you're going to end up with from this advent calendar is a bunch of minis. Like, you're going to have a bunch of fragrances, some candles, some skincare, some makeup. All of that stuff will either get used up or it will eventually go bad in your collection, and you're going to be left with a candle holder. Let's move on to Christian Louboutin. Now, I will say about this advent calendar, she's cute. You can open it up with it all set up in its little box, or you can pull out each individual section and you can set it up like a little train. It's cute, okay? It's really, really cute, and I'm not going to fault them for that. This one retails for 815 Australian dollars. There's 24 items and other junk in there, and it works out to 33.95 Australian per item. There's heaps of fragrance in this one, but they're the absolutely adorable, like, these bottles are super ornate, so I can understand if you look at this and you go, I don't care, I love it. I respect this one a little bit more because they haven't like cheaped out or crapped out on the perfume bottles. So I'm going to give them that. With the perfumes, I will mention there's 2 types. You've got these skinny little vials, and then you've got their more ornate, like sort of you know, cute sort of deluxe size perfumes. There's a lipstick case in there with refills. There is a duo eyeshadow palette in the advent calendar, which is great. These are unfortunately not refillable, and I only mention that because Louboutin have 6-pan palettes that you can buy refills for, but the way that this is a bit irrelevant because it's not in the advent calendar, but you have the little like container or the actual palette, and then you buy the refill that is 6 whole eyeshadows. So I don't know, I mean that could be done better as well, but it's not relevant, so let's move on. There is also an eyeliner and a mascara in there. With these two items, I'm pretty sure that the eyeliner is full size, the mascara is a mini. And then there is a chain with charms and three extra charms. Are you someone who would be okay with finding that in an advent calendar? Like, does that feel okay for you, especially if you're spending like 815 Australian dollars? Because no, that turns me off. I don't want that. If I was gonna spend that much money at Christian Louboutin, like, I would say, no, I'm not buying the crappy advent calendar. I'll just spend 800 bucks on something that I genuinely want, because you're trying to give me charms. Let's talk about Sisley next. This is another one where I'm just like, it just could have been better. It's $595 US, and I believe it is 780 Australian dollars. Let me double check that. Nope, sorry, my bad. It's 595 pounds. It is 780 US dollars. So I'm just gonna go based on pounds since that's what I originally had down here. It works out to $23.80 per item. And there is something in here that is worth a fairly significant amount of money. It's worth 170 pounds. It's the eye and lip anti-aging contour cream with the applicator. It's like a roll-on applicator. Now that's full size, that's great. There's also, and I mean, you're gonna be so excited about the other full size products in here. You're gonna be like, that's a bargain. Absolute smashing bargain. You get a lip balm, a lipstick, sorry, my bad, 2 lipsticks, different formulas. You've got the lip twist in nude and the rouge shine in sheer rosewood, and then you have a mascara in black. Everything else is minis, all of it. It's all mini stuff. When we're looking at the minis, the largest items are gonna be the shampoo. That's 50 mils, but you don't get a conditioner according to this list. And then there's a soap and bath and shower gel, which are also 50 grams and 50 mils respectively. I expect more. I really like Sisley as a brand. I do love their design as well, but I feel like when we're looking at these high-end brands getting into advent calendars, they're kind of missing the point a little bit. Or maybe it's more that I'm missing the point, that this is like a prestigious brand and they don't really give a shit about like value. I do think that they touched well on, you know, bringing in their new product, which I believe their eye and lip contour cream, I'm pretty sure that came out in 2023. So it's great to see that they're like, you know, here's a full size of our hero product for the year. I think that's fantastic. I also do think that they've done a really good job in covering the bases of all the different products that they have available. So skincare, body care, hair care, makeup, that's fantastic. Major props for that. But I also do think that I would like to see more full-size products in here. A lot of the like face serums that they've got are just 15 mil. They're the tiny little like, you know, tubes that you get anywhere for free. Well, not anywhere, but you get what I'm saying. You often get them for free. Perfume samples that are like 2 mils or 4 mils. That's not, it's not a good deal. It's junk. I don't think it's worth it. I think they need to put more deluxe size items in there at the very least. And this goes for all of the calendars that I've spoken about up until now. They all need more full size and bigger deluxe sizes in them. Fine, put in some small mini products. I get it. Like they need to be profitable for them as well. But people need to feel like they're getting a good deal. Otherwise, they're not going to come back for your crap, especially this year, especially with people being under so much financial pressure. Like, I will not be surprised if we start to see a lot of these things become heavily discounted in the lead up to Christmas or after Christmas. Okay, let's get into some that are a bit more affordable and you probably would see them while you're out and about. The NYX Advent Calendar. This is junk. I'm talking about the 12 Days of Christmas Advent Calendar. I believe there might have been another one that was, contained other makeup items, but this is the one that really ticked me off. This is $50 US. The value is $60 US. Awesome value. Awesome. Contains 12 mini best-selling lip products. So this works out to $4.16 US per item. There's 6 butter glosses, 4 smooth whip lip products, and 2 lipsticks. Yes, it's meant to contain their best-selling products, but every man and their dog who is interested in NYX products or NYX lip products probably already has their best-selling crap. On the NYX US website, there are 20 listings of individual types of lip products, and these are things that are like, they were in stock, they weren't in a bundle, they didn't contain like a lip liner, or they weren't an actual lip liner or something like that. These were just different varieties of lip products, and they go ahead and put 3 different types of products in their advent calendar. Not to mention, these are like minis. Now, if you were to buy these items full size, you'd only be paying a few extra dollars for them. And if you waited for them to have a sale, like, Black Friday sale or something, you could probably get the full sizes for cheaper, if not at least very close to what these are averaging out to. They could have made this better simply by putting in more variety in the actual advent calendar, different types of lip products that they sell. That's all they had to do. But no, they choose 3 different varieties of lip products. How boring and bland. Next on my list is absolutely anything from Revolution Beauty. There is some mega junk here. I'm not going through all of them. I will say that the Shrek like gingerbread themed advent calendar one, it's cute, but it's also junk. They have a Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory one. How is that even relevant? It's junky, junk, but also could be good if if you have a young person in your life who is just getting into beauty and they're like, oh my God, I really want a beauty advent calendar, please, please, please. Like, then I can understand, because it's affordable and it's, not going to break the bank for you and all that jazz. So in that case, yes, I get it, but not for any actual self-respecting beauty lover. That's junk. Save the money, buy something else. The next one is from Avant. It is the Zodiac Advent Calendar. It's £99, it's 12 days, and it contains 12 items. And it's Zodiac theme. Just stop it. Okay, let's talk about one that I have. This is from Davines. This is the Davines Advent Calendar for 2023. I did not buy this. My friend Madeline sent it to me. Oh no, don't fall out. This is gonna be difficult to open. Let's get that out. So it opens up like so. There you go. It's super cute. love it. I love it. I'm very excited to open this up. I'm not doing it today. I'm doing it in December. So let's talk about this calendar. My hairdresser, Madeline, sent this to me, and she said that the reason why she sent it was because, well, obviously she knows I love advent calendars. Like, let's face it, she knows me very well. But also because she actually wants to encourage Devoness to continue to make these and hope that they get better over time. Now, I had actually written this down on my list of like the worst advent calendars for 2023 because I felt the same way she did. I'm very excited to see an advent calendar come from Devoness because I love the brand, and it's been my go-to hair care brand for quite a few years now, and I rarely deviate from using Devoness products. They are exceptional, but I mostly wanted to talk about this one because I think this is a perfect example of how we could discuss an advent calendar improving over the years. So this is a 12-day advent calendar. It's 260 Australian dollars, I believe, or it might be US. Let me double check. No, it's 260 Australian dollars. This mostly contains products for like color damaged, dry hair. There's Oi products in there. There's also Momo products. So Oi is a range that has been around for a long time. It's one of their hero lines. Momo is one of their newer lines that they brought out. I think it wasn't last year. It might have been the year before, maybe. I remember Madeline giving me like minis of almost all of the new ranges that they brought out, and it was mid-COVID, and it kept me busy for a long time. There's also some styling products in there, and there's a face mask. I didn't know that Devoness made face masks. It also contains the Oi Silkening hair oil, which was a discontinued product, but really beautiful. It's like a hair primer slash fragrance, which is really nice, and they discontinued it, but they've put it in the advent calendar, which is really cool. So I definitely think this advent calendar has a lot going for it, and also I'm really excited to have it. Like, the products that are in here, they're everything I will use, which is fantastic. But I do think that in coming years, what I would love to see from this advent calendar is if they can make it 24-day, great. If not, fine, whatever, I get it. But I think they should make them for different hair types. So I think what they should do is, make one for your dry damaged hair, your color treated hair, one for oily scalp, one for like, hair regrowth. Devoness does absolutely outstanding products for hair maintenance, like hair growth maintenance, so preventing hair fall, and also for encouraging new and faster growth. They should 100% do an advent calendar on that. But also I think if you're putting in the hero product for the specific hair concern and then supporting products or other lines that might give people a really nice result, you're expanding people's horizons with the types of products that they're trying, and that in turn can then lead them to, purchase the full size in the future. And also it can help you to learn more about what your hair does and doesn't like. So that's what I would like to see come out of this advent calendar. Also, they should do one for men, because I know that they have like a beard care line, and they could totally turn that into an advent calendar. I don't know if they have enough products to do it, but I'm sure they could chuck in other supporting products that would work for men. Like, just do it. Go for it. Get into it. Let's talk about Yankee Candle. This one annoys me every year, and we're gonna have a moan about it. From what I understand, Yankee Candle has two advent calendars. There's one that does like little tea lights, and there's one that is a bit bigger and they do tea lights and like the mini home candles. The tea light one is the one that really irritates me, and this one is £28 and it contains 8 scents that are repeated 3 times in the advent calendar and a tea light holder. Tea light holder, great, whatever, but for a brand like Yankee Candle that has such a huge range of fragrances, to only have 8 in their calendar and to repeat it 3 times, absolutely not. Also, I do think £28 for 24 tea lights and a tea light holder is not a good value calendar. It's not. And I think they need to step up their game. All you have to do here is add more scent variety. I can understand if there's some things that you have to double up on, especially doubling up on like the holiday scented ones. I think that is absolutely fine, but give your consumers some variety. All right, Charlotte Tilbury. Charlotte Tilbury is annoying me more and more each year. I was very excited when Charlotte Tilbury made their first advent calendar because I thought it would get better, but it hasn't. It's stagnant. It's stayed the same. I'm pretty sure every time I look at it, like year after year, I'm like, I think this is the exact same calendar from last year. I haven't actually looked over the lists because I'm not that invested, but my God, it does not feel like much is changing year after year. Now, this is a 12-door advent calendar and it's 300 Australian dollars. It only contains 2 full-size products this year. They don't mention the value of the calendar on the website, which tells me it's not good. And as far as I'm concerned, the cutest thing about this advent calendar every year is the actual chest itself. The chest is also not numbered, which I'm neither here nor there about. I think that can actually be a really good thing because you can reuse it. But if you're buying this thing every year, could you imagine how many of these little like advent calendar chests you've got floating around? If you consider that like part of the calendar and you're holding on to it, like I can imagine by now your beauty room is starting to look like a Charlotte Tilbury holiday showcase. I will never buy the Charlotte Tilbury advent calendar if they keep on going this way. I've never seen one that I have felt has been like a really, really outstanding great deal, and I don't think this year's is either. I really think they need to change up the chest. That's getting a bit old. There needs to be more full-size products in there. And I know that the products seem to follow a similar theme year after year, and I think that really needs to be changed up as well. Like I said, I think it's quite stagnant now. The thing about doing advent calendars every year, yes, they only come out once a year, but often these items are quite expensive. It's a luxury treat. Not many of us can actually afford to buy, multiple of them, and when the calendars just look the same year after year after year, there's not really anything that's dragging us in to want to buy them. They don't feel special. They don't feel like good value. It just feels like a rinse and repeat of last year, and that's boring. The last advent calendar that I'm going to talk about is from Benefit. This has gotten worse and worse every time I see it. So this year they have a 24-day advent calendar, which is fantastic because in previous years it's been 12. So I want to give them props for that. I think it's really great that they have expanded their horizons there. This retails for $149 US or 250 Australian dollars. They claim that it has a value of 525 Australian dollars. What I'm going to say about this advent calendar is that it has proven to be popular this year because it's out of stock almost everywhere I've looked. So that tells me that people are buying it. Also, I have seen it everywhere on social media. Everywhere. Everyone is unboxing it. I don't think there's going to be a single person actually opening it in December because all of the influencers purchased it and have been opening it up in October and now. Another thing that I discovered while I was doing some research on this was the reviews make me side eye retailers and Benefit hard at the moment, because from what I'm seeing on social media where people have purchased the advent calendar and opened it up, I'm seeing a lot of people who are saying things like, oh, it's so much smaller than I expected, or the products are so much smaller. They're a bit disappointed. They don't feel like it's very good value. But the reviews that I'm seeing online, not only on the Benefit website, but on other retailers like Sephora and Adore Beauty, were two that I was really like, are you serious? Like, come on, man. The reviews are only positive, and there's like one or two. Now, the products in the calendar are mostly micro products. So this is a product that is smaller than a standard sample size. So you've got your full size products, you've got your deluxe travel size products. So they're your bigger samples. Then you've got your standard samples. These are things you often see as gift with purchases. You might, like if you, shop at a retailer and they have like a, spend $200 and you get a free goodie bag, and then it's got like the mini samples. They're your minis. Then you've got your micros, and these are typically specially made for stuff like this. You don't see them very often. So for example, the blushes and bronzers in here are 2.5 grams. And here I have a mini hula. This is, one that's super cute. Came in a holiday pack, I assume, or might have been even a gift with purchase. I can't recall. But this is 3 grams. So the ones that are coming in the advent calendar are smaller than this little dude, which, by the way, I think this is adorable. I don't have a problem with that. Now, I believe there are some full-size products in there. There's a roller lash, which is 8.5 grams. I'm pretty sure that's full-size. There's Professional, 22 mils. I'm like 99.9% sure that's full-size as well. I'm pretty sure I remember it being 22 mils. There's a Fluff Up Brow Wax, which is 6 mils. And then there's a multitasking cheek brush, which I don't count that because I know it's going to be trash. Then when we get into like the mini product, you've got Professional Light Primer, which is 7.5 mils. So that's comparing it to the full size of 22 mils. Then we get into the micro products. So you've got the blushes and the bronzer. You've got a 24-hour brow setter. There's mini Professionals of their like skincare range. You've got the Good Cleanup, Tighten Tone, Deep Retreat, Super Setter. There's a absolutely micro Benetton in there. There are 2 new products in here. You've got the Splash Tint in Heat Wave, and you've got the Plush Tint in Purr. They're both new products, which I actually think is great. I think it's fantastic if brands are debuting products in their advent calendars. Massive props to them for that, but they are micro. In fact, they're so small that they don't even like declare how much product is in them. There's 4 mini mascaras in there. One of them is a new type of mascara as well. It's the FanFest mascara, which is great. There's a Gimme Brow in the shade 3, and this thing is tiny. And also there's a Precisely My Brow in 4. That is also tiny. Like, these guys are itty bitty. And the Precisely My Brow, which like I've got a full size here, these contain 0.08 of a gram of product. So tiny amount of product in here. I can only imagine how much is in a mini version of this. I just don't feel like this is good value at all. I would think that this is good value if Benefit said, okay, spend 250 Australian dollars on Benefit products and we will give you this advent calendar as a gift with purchase for the holiday season. Then I'd be like, hell yeah, that's great. But otherwise, this is not it. This is not it. And I don't like it. I don't think it's good value. I think there needs to be I don't think it needs to be full of full-size products. That's never going to be my argument about advent calendars. And also, I don't need advent calendars to be, you know, a smash and bargain. I don't think they are ever anyway. A lot of advent calendars contain, you know, deluxe size samples or sample sizes. And a lot of people will argue that you can get these products for free when you already shop at places like Ulta or Sephora or other retailers. In Australia, sample culture is very, very different. We don't often get samples when we go and just make a standard purchase. We have to physically ask for them, and often a lot of places will say, oh, we're out of sample pots, or oh, we don't have any samples, or whatever. So sample culture here, it's not the same as what it is in other places in the world. So I'm never going to really argue that, you know, these things shouldn't be in an advent calendar at all. But I definitely think that there needs to be like a reality check with the brands and the value of these advent calendars. Like saying that that advent calendar is worth $500 and something. Don't piss on me and tell me it's raining. Okay guys, I'm gonna leave it there. Feel free to let me know your thoughts on any of these advent calendars. Was there something that you thought maybe they could do to make them better? Or is there one that you saw this year that you wished I'd talked about and now you need to vent about it? Because if you would like to, have a go at it in the comment section. I will be in there looking for your thoughts on these crappy advent calendars or any others that you saw this year. Before I go, I want to say a massive thank you to my channel members. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you very much for your support. And until the next one,